candles say one Butler Tech on them because we have another award winner that's here with us today who totally, man, has amplified that one Butler Tech, moving secondary to adult ed to become the Administrator of the Year is Nick Limberg.
I would just say that Nick is a wealth of information. Coming from secondary to here, the answer to how is always yes. Spoke to him on Friday about some crazy things, and he's like, yes, yes, we'll make it happen. Appreciate that so much, even working with Justin and bringing this all together. Nick always says yes for students, so truly appreciate you in this role. It's been an interesting transition for you, I'm sure, but you have crushed it, absolutely crushed it. Thank you.
I'd just like to second that. We come up with a lot of crazy ideas in adult ed, and he has never said no. He just always says, show me where there's a need, show me how you want to do it. We present that, and it's gung-ho, let's do it. So thank you for always being supportive.
As building a new paramedic program, building it back up the way it needed to be, I've had nothing but wonderful support out of Nick for all the ideas that we've had that have made our program successful. And I've personally learned a lot about the business side of education, which is something that I don't have a background in at all. And so that's been really nice for me to see the other sides of it that I don't get to see. So I really appreciate all the advice and leadership that you provided. So thank you very much.
And right now he's hating it. He hates
I know.
it.
How long can we make him uncomfortable?
He's got a few more minutes.
For me, when I think of this award, I think about the person that models behavior for me. And for you, you are an excellent model as a leader, as a coach. I'll mirror what's been said. We do a lot of crazy things. Anytime I come to you and say, hey, I got this big idea, you're like, go with it. If it works, it works. If not, we'll regroup. And that's an awesome space for us to work in and to grow in. And I think the biggest thing with you is you support, I know me and I can probably speak for everybody, but not just as supervisors or workers, but as people. You build those relationships and you make us feel like we work in a safe space. And that is what makes us better workers and better people overall. So thank you for all that you do, your friendship, your leadership. It's very well deserved.
A couple more, Nick.
Yeah.
I think everybody keeps cutting John off, but you might as well go last. Not the first time. Nick, you're, the norm from the district that comes to the front of my thinking is the collective thought leadership. You're an expert at helping the district out with Perkins work and the formal work. You're an expert at helping the district out with thinking about programming and how it's going to move from secondary to adult ed and how we're going to fund it, pay for it, and generate high-level outcomes for it. And I think about the last 3 years, the little checkpoints that you and John communicate to the board at board meetings around the progress of adult ed. And every single time there's an update, the trajectory of adult ed continues to be onward and upward. And I think the easiest way to connect that to what Sarah said is that's a reflection of the actual leadership, not the technical work. Technical work's just part of the process, but kudos to you for being just a high-level leader in the district, and everybody around you is better because you're in our spaces.
It's been a blessing to have the opportunity to work down here beside of you, Jen, just as a whole. Productive struggle is definitely with you, but it's in a good way. It's in a good way because we productively struggle through figuring out how to let all of them do what they need to do to make us better. So I am very thankful to get to work beside of you. So thank you.
I'll add too for Nick. We've been together for a long time, right? And just thinking back the days when you were over at Fairfield Freshman and working together, and the relationship between our home schools and Butler Tech, and always a great partner from that end. And then coming and working side by side and as a supervisor. And I can remember the day that you came and said, I'm going to be moving to adult ed. And what? It was such a shock. And I know you had some uncertainty about it. but you have absolutely crushed it. So many people could have walked away and said, that's not my thing. I've been in secondary education, I want to continue with that. But you kept with it and made it better, and you made it great. So kudos to you, Nick.
And Nick, I'll share that again, you've done a great job with working with secondary. You know, it's not always been a smooth transition, but you've always welcomed us, and we appreciate all that help. And this year, especially, going back to the fact that never saying no, we had a young man at D. Russell Lee in a welding program. And believe it or not, welding was not his passion. He just realized that's not what he wanted to do, but he wanted to follow in his father's footsteps to be a truck driver. And he inquired about taking the CDL program, and it's like, well, we've never done that before. But guess what? We did, and the young man passed the CDL, and that's because of you. So thank you. Yeah,
Last week, yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
So, a couple of years ago, when you came into my office and I said I wanted you to take over adult education, I think Nick thought, oh man, what did I do wrong? Why is he assigning me to this? And there is nothing better than to be standing here today and listening to the people that you lead each and every day, sing your praises, and seeing the results of students on this campus, singing the praises of staff members. And it's because of your leadership. And so you may have had the anxiety that Kristen described, and I saw it in you, but I knew that your leadership skills would thrive in this environment. And it is exactly what adult education needed. It's exactly the reason why it is what it is today. You are the quiet leader that doesn't like this kind of venue, and I'm sure he's squirming a little bit, so I'm going to go even a little bit longer. He does a remarkable job of supporting his people, letting them be leaders, but do not underestimate his quietness and his behind-the-scenes work that he does, because your fingerprints are all over the success of adult education. Well deserved. Congratulations.
Well, as always, I only have these skills because of the people around me, even from days, as said Kristen, we go way back, supervising with Chrissy, the growth from William. Obviously, none of this can happen without the support of John and our leadership through that. Honestly, this award goes to the people I just support, and super thankful and grateful. The one thing I try to do best is collective efficacy and move us the same way, that we're all on the same page. From the bottom, from Fred, our custodian, the whole way to the top is John, is how do we move adult ed together? And that's all I try to do, is coordinate that and support that and move forward, and great things are happening, so super thankful to everybody to support. I am willing to try anything if we have a good plan, as you can hear, and it's paid off. So yeah, just risk-taking and collective efficacy from our norms I take dear to heart, and that's how I try to lead. So thank you for everybody who's on board and willing to support our crazy ideas.